It's the most powerful show on television. High drama, with intense energy. A show dedicated to a few brave souls who risk their lives for the sake of their craft. Its in-depth reporting goes to the core and unlocks the mysteries behind today's raciest sport. Motorsports. Catch it when you can.
Speed Station welcomes you to Mid-Ohio Sport Car Course for the running of the B&L Transport 350. You may notice that Kyle Larson will not be in this weekend's field, and I'm sure you know why. Not only was he given a 30-day suspension by NASCAR, but he has been released by Chip Ganassi Racing. So the runner-up in points last season now has to scramble for a ride late in the going. But this weekend, his replacement in the 42 car will be Regan Smith. And you may remember that he led the first laps at Palm Beach earlier on in the season when he was substituting for Alex Bowman. It has already been confirmed that for the All-Star race in the Coca-Cola 600, Quinn Houff will be in the 42 car, and Josh Wise will replace him in the 77. But beyond that, it's all pretty much up in the air for the 42 car, although there is a rumor that Jamie McMurray may come out of retirement to run the fall Daytona and Talladega races in the 42 car. And the two guys who battled for the victory back at Palm Beach, the first road course race of the year, lead the field, with Ryan Blaney winning the pole above Jan Magnussen, Clint Boyer in third, Kurt Busch in fourth, Chase Elliott in fifth, Ross Chastain sixth, AJ Allmendinger in seventh, Austin Cindric in eighth, Eric Almirola in ninth, and Joey Logano in 10th. Regan Smith substituting for Larson in the 11th position, and Adam Andretti making his first Cup Series start as a teammate to Bubba Wallace in 12th. And because there are so many road course ringers in today's race, take a listen to those who failed to make it. Those include Reed Sorensen, Tyler Reddick, Garrett Smithley, Corey LaJoie, Ryan Preece, Ryan Sieg, Joey Gase, JJ Yaley, Josh Blicky, and BJ McLeod, those being all four of Rick Ware's entries. Then Timmy Hill, Quinn Houff, Parker Kligerman, Landon Castle, and Drew Herring. Today's race is 40 laps. Stage 1 ends on lap 13, and Stage 2 ends on lap 26.
Drivers, start your engines!
And we are green at Mid-Ohio. Ryan Blaney getting a pretty good jump off into turn 1, trying to clear Magnussen as they exit the corner. And we got a car already gone around, several cars into the sand trap off the exit of turn 1. I believe the caution is already out, as I saw Allmendinger and the 22 car as well go off, as Magnussen's on the inside of race leader Blaney off into turn 2. Kurt Busch tried putting the bumper to him right there. Got a drag race for the lead down the long straightaway in between turns 2 and turns 4. That small kink right there is turn 3. Blaney tries diving in. He still has the 33 car on his outside now. And Blaney has cleared Magnussen. And in the race back to the caution flag, Ryan Blaney is your leader above Jan Magnussen, Kurt Busch, Ross Chastain, and Clint Boyer in the 14 car. That's your top 5. So entering turn number 1, there's AJ Allmendinger, the 8th place starter, gets turned by the 10. Spun around into the sand trap. Adam Andretti also got a little bit into it. What a way to make a first corner in a cup race, by the way. And the 10 car of Almirola and the 22 got off track, and Brendan Poole almost collided with the 16 as well. I should mention that the driver who entered this race as the point leader, Chase Briscoe, currently runs in 31st position. Not a very good run going so far for the 99, but second in points, Kevin Harvick, however, runs in 10th spot. Isn't it kind of incredible to think that one of the few guys in this field to ever win at this track in any discipline is actually Regan Smith, who runs in 9th position right now. Remember 5 years ago, he won here in a battle between himself and Alex Tagliani for the win here in an Xfinity Series race. Green flag. Single file restart, so odds are we probably won't see very much calamity heading off into turn 1 as we see Clint Boyer on the inside of the 55. That's the battle for 4th position. The only problem with shooting to the inside on the entry to turn 1 is now you're on the outside into turn 2. So you go from having the preferred lane to now the not preferred line as the 55 lunges ahead, and the 9 cars on his inside as well. 33 got right to the back bumper of the 12, but could not put the bumper to him in turn 2. And Chase Elliott has just taken 5th as Clint Boyer went wide into turn 4. Well, they still run side by side for 5th. Actually, now Clint Boyer will clear the 9 and retain 5th spot. As you can tell already, this is an extremely difficult racetrack to pass on. So guys like AJ Allmendinger and Joey Logano have been stuck in the back because of that turn 1 incident. Probably won't get near the top 10 before the end of the race. Look at this, 3 wide farther back in the field, now down to 2 wide as Adam Andretti backed out on the inside. That's the 5 car of Jack Hawksworth that just took up 14th position. 3 wide in turn 5 with Keselowski on the bottom, Johnson on the outside. Keselowski took those 2 spots off the 88 and 48. Last week's winner, Martin Truex Jr., currently runs in 30th position. Not a very good run going for the 19, but then again, the 11 car of Denny Hamlin only runs in 29th. Ross Chastain tried to put a bumper to the 1 car entering turn number 2, but just ran the corner wide instead, lost a lot of ground on Kurt Busch. The top half dozen or so still run single file, with the gap between 1st and 2nd being only 4/10. Owen Byron just ran into turn 4 way too hard as the 38 car gets turned around. Caution flag is out for debris in turn 4. I think you could tell what caused it. And in the race back to the caution, Ryan Blaney is your leader above Jan Magnussen, Kurt Busch, Ross Chastain, and Clint Boyer still in 5th. So entering turn number 4, we are on board with William Byron right here. The 6 car is slowing up and just slams into the back of Newman, which then gets into Michael McDowell. So quite a bit of front end damage on the 24, but the 38 gets turned around by the 81. Quite the accordion effect entering turn 4. Then again, that's the longest straightaway on the track into the tightest corner. And the first car out of the pits is the 12 car of Blaney getting out in front of Kurt Busch up to 2nd, Ross Chastain into 3rd, Magnussen down all the way to 4th, and Clint Boyer still in 5th position. Both front row motorsports cars, Michael McDowell and John Hunter Nemechek, are missing their front ends after they cut those pieces off due to crash damage. The 6 car of Ryan Newman is missing the rear end as well, and the 24 car of William Byron is listed as retired and will finish in last position. And there's the green with just 5 laps to go in stage 1. Kurt Busch got a very good restart on the 12 car of Blaney. Looks on the inside. Now the 55 car is hounding Kurt Busch for 2nd position as Blaney got by him. Ross Chastain will take up 2nd position off the 1 car. And the 14 and 33 cars still battling for 4th position. Now Clint Boyer back onto the inside of Magnussen. Boyer will take up 4th position with the 33 car falling to 5th. You might notice a little bit of front end damage on the 14 and a little bit of rear end damage on the 1. They collided in a heavy braking zone entering turn 4 on the last lap. The 3 car of Austin Dillon is actually still setting in his pit stall. Not sure the reason for their long pit stop that's lasted almost 2 laps now. And after just heading down pit road, Martin Truex Jr. is back on pit road. I believe he might have cut a tire. So he currently runs in 36th position. And as we take a look through your top 10, you have Blaney leading Chastain above Kurt Busch, Clint Boyer, Magnussen, Matt DiBenedetto, Chase Elliott, who is still searching for that next win after he's gone winless for over a season now. Above 2nd in points entering this race, Kevin Harvick, Regan Smith in the substitution role that he's always in as super sub, and Chris Buescher round out your top 10. And the 3 car is finally off pit road. If I had to take a guess, they probably had to swap out a battery on that 3 car, as they are now an entire lap down and within only a few seconds of falling a 2nd lap down. The separation that time by between 1st and 2nd was 8/10 between Blaney and Chastain, although when you look back to Kurt Busch, who's in 3rd position right now, he is 3 seconds behind race leader Ryan Blaney. And here's a little bit of a battle on track as the 44 car of Adam Andretti try and get by the 48 for 14th position. He's got the spot. 88 car of Alex Bowman almost ran the corner wide, and it looks like the 02 of Austin Cindric is trying to take advantage of Johnson as well. By the way, after that early race incident, AJ Allmendinger's only climbed up to 28th position. So that really proves how hard it is to pass here. Ross Chastain gained a lot of ground on the 12 car in those last few corners. Gained almost about 0.3 of a second, as Ryan Blaney will now take the white flag in stage 1. Here comes Matt DiBenedetto on the inside of the 33 car. 21 trying to make it up into 5th position. And also a battle between the 9 and 4 for 7th. And so now DiBenedetto will take up 5th position. Magnussen gave him a bit of a bump entering turn 4, but made the corner very wide and lost quite a bit of time on the 21. And coming out of turn 13, Ryan Blaney will win the first ever stage at Mid-Ohio. Above Ross Chastain, Kurt Busch taking 3rd, Clint Bowyer in 4th, and Matt DiBenedetto into 5th. We should also mention that on that last cycle, just like Martin Truex Jr., who ended up blowing a tire, your point leader, Chase Briscoe, ended up doing the same. So he's actually behind Martin Truex Jr. right now, running in 36th position with Truex in 35th. Not a very good day for the point leader entering this event, but Kevin Harvick, as we keep updating this story, Harvick's up to 7th. So it looks like Kevin might have an opportunity of retaking the point lead after today's race. NASCAR on Speed Station is being brought to you by Built by Me Chassis and Engine Parts, by Smeat Heat, the real canned meat paste, and by Start and Park, the official motel brand of NASCAR. In the race off pit road, Ryan Blaney gets off in front of Ross Chastain, Matt DiBenedetto, Kurt Busch, and Jan Magnussen. Now, don't ask me why the guys who just pitted for blown tires, Truex and Chase Briscoe, did not stay out on this cycle. I think they could have and assumed 1st and 2nd, but they pitted with the leaders, and they're going to restart in 35th and 36th. Joey Logano's team actually spent the most time on pit road repairing some front-end damage, so he's going to restart in 36 instead of, Truex and Chase Briscoe. Denny Hamlin was involved in an incident entering his pit stall where he got rammed by his own teammate Kyle Busch. Hamlin right now was able to get back onto the racetrack, but his engine blew. This race could not be going any worse for Denny Hamlin, as he will now be out of the race. And we are back under green for stage 2 as the 21 car dives to the inside of the 55, and 3 wide for position almost with the 14 car on the bottom. Forces Magnussen wide and takes up 5th position. Kurt Busch will take up 3rd as several cars are taking advantage of the 21 being up on the top. 14 car dives in on Kurt Busch now. Bowyer is now up into 3rd, but Kurt will not let that slide. Well, they almost made contact and the 14 car backed off the throttle. It looks like the 1 car will take up 3rd position, but Bowyer diving right back in on the 1 car of Kurt Busch into turn 12. Coming off the final corner, Kurt Busch finally gets around the 14 car of Bowyer. Caution flag is out for the smoking 16 car of AJ Allmendinger. It looks like Allmendinger might have hit something because there's a whole lot more damage on that car and definitely smoke billowing out of it. That's what caused the officials to throw the yellow. But we are busy with the race back to the caution as the 9 car going on the inside of Jan Magnussen for 5th spot. And it looks like the 33 will retain the position. The 55 car just barely now starting to run down the 12 of Blaney. Chastain is right on the bumper as we enter the final 2 corners. He does not make a look on the inside of Blaney, though, as we race back to the caution. Ryan Blaney is your leader, Chastain in 2nd, Clint Bowyer in 3rd, got it off Kurt Busch, Busch down to 4th, and Magnussen in 5th. Right when the field was taking the green, the 20 car of Eric Jones turns Allmendinger straight into the guardrail. And for some reason, we only got a caution when the car started to billow smoke. But that was actually a very hard impact for the 16 car. So at the present moment, A.J. Allmendinger, Denny Hamlin, and William Byron are the only cars out of the race. We have a few cars on pit road, including Ankrum, Nemechek, the 18 car, I should say, of Kyle Busch, the 81, the 19, and 99. The 47 car of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. actually stalled on the back straight. Not sure if they're going to be able to get the 47 car refired or not at the present moment. All the leaders stayed out on this cycle, so it's going to turn into a bit of a strategy gamble for the 87 team and the several others who hit pit road. Well, they got Stenhouse's car refired, so not exactly sure what the issue was on the JTT Geordie racing team. And there's the green flag once again, just 7 laps to go in stage 2. Three wide for position back here. This is the battle for 5th. DiBenedetto on the bottom, Magnussen on the outside. They fell it back down to 2 wide. Chase Elliott trying to challenge the 33 car for position. The 4 car just gave the 21 a bump, entering turn 2. And it looks like in the run down to turn number 4, the 33 car will retain 5th position off the 9 car. Whoa, the 55 car way off into the guardrail. Must have got clipped by 3rd position Clint Boyer, as now Kurt Busch is on his inside. Got a bit of a 3-wide battle with the 33 and 55 going at it. The 9 car just got ran wide by Magnussen. Still making contact. But that was a pretty significant hit for the 55 car onto the guardrail. The 1 car of Kurt Busch just moved up into 2nd position behind Ryan Blaney, who has extended his lead out to almost 1 second. And there's Chase Elliott trying to make the pass on the inside of Magnussen. That's the battle for 4th right there, as Elliott will take the position. Ross Chastain has fallen all the way down to 6th at the moment. The separation between 1st and 2nd at the start-finish line last time by was a little over 2 seconds. Believe it or not, the 9 car of Elliott has finally cleared the 33 of Magnussen. Jack Hawksworth in the 5 car for LFR has finally cracked the top 10 after getting around Chris Buescher. Ryan Blaney will definitely lead the most laps of today's race, as he has now led 22 of 40, trying to make up for his disappointing loss earlier this year at Palm Beach when he ran out of gas on the last lap, with Jan Magnussen taking the victory. Caution flag is out once again. In the race back to the flag, it's the 12 car of Blaney above Kurt Busch, Clint Boyer, Chase Elliott, and Jan Magnussen. Entering the corner, let's see the 48 car and 2 car run side by side, with the 2 making contact, spinning Keselowski around. Jimmy Johnson going head first into the tire barrier. Then the 41 car gets involved. Let's see if any more pile in. The 19 car almost made contact, and the 38 car got stopped behind Jimmy Johnson, but an awful lot of damage on that 48 car. And trying to miss this accident, the 18 and 38 actually made significant contact into the outside wall, with the 18 car blowing his engine in the process. So we could have at least 3 cars out of the race from this wreck. Here's the onboard from Jimmy Johnson. That was an extremely hard impact into that tire barrier. And after that accident, Jimmy Johnson, Tyler Ankrum, and Kyle Busch are all out of the race. As you saw, Ankrum piled into the mess that was involved with Kyle Busch when they hit the guardrail trying to miss Jimmy Johnson's accident. So all 3 of those cars are out of the race. Brad Keselowski, however, is still in it. 2 lead lap cars decided to stay out, including Adam Andretti and Austin Cindric, 2 of the road course ringers who are here just to win the race. They do not care about points. So, Ryan Blaney is the first car off of pit road above Kurt Busch, Clint Boyer, Chase Elliott, and Kevin Harvick. This will be the first time in today's race that Ryan Blaney will be behind any cars. Remember that the 3 cars separating 2nd and 3rd positions of Cindric and Blaney is 1 lap down. And there's the green flag with only 2 laps to go in stage 2. Kurt Busch already trying to make a move on the inside of the 12. That's the battle for 3rd spot. I should point out that that last lap was the first lap Adam Andretti has ever led in his Cup Series career, and in his first start. The 12 car of Blaney has just cleared the 1 car of Kurt Busch. And here's the run down into the tightest corner on the track, turn 4. Oh, the 12 car of Blaney just got turned around by Kurt Busch. The guy who dominated most of the race has just gone around in turn 4. And we currently do not have a caution. And there's the white flag in stage 2 for Adam Andretti. There's now damage on both ends of Austin Cindric's car from that stack-up that ended up turning the 12 car. And how unfortunate for Ryan Blaney, who currently runs in 13th position. We've seen all day how hard it is to pass. Well, it's going to be very difficult for Blaney to get back up front. Clint Bowyer tried to challenge Kurt Busch for position right there, but Busch cuts down in front to retain 3rd position. And a lot of front-end damage on the 1 car as he got forced into the 0-2 on the entry to turn number 4. Busch will move up into 2nd position, but he has an awful lot of front-end damage on that 1 car. Turn 4 has definitely been Calamity Corner all race long, as the 0-2 car now is about to drop out of the top 5. Kurt Busch is actually right on the back bumper of Andretti coming off of turn 12. But at the start-finish line, Adam Andretti will win his first career stage and in his first career start. That's an incredible job. I believe that's one of the first stages that Richard Petty Motorsports has ever won as well. Adam wins it above Kurt Busch, Kevin Harvick, Clint Bowyer, and Austin Cindric. We've been seeing it all day long, the accordion effect entering turn number 4, but the 12 car of Blaney gets turned dead sideways by the 1 car of Kurt Busch, spun into the sand trap, and drops all the way outside the top 10. That's going to be very hard to rebound from late in the going. And don't forget the severe front-end damage on the 1 car of Kurt Busch. They're probably going to have to cut off the front end of that car when they hit pit road next time. NASCAR on Speed Station is being brought to you by Built by Me Chassis and Engine Parts, by Smeat Heat, the real canned meat paste, and by Start and Park, the official motel brand of NASCAR. I'll tell you what, when it comes to road course races, Ryan Blaney sure is the heartbreak kid, isn't he? The 44 and 1 cars hit pit road. That actually passes the race lead over to 2nd in points, Kevin Harvick, above his teammate Clint Bowyer. Austin Cindric is also hitting pit road this time by as well. Cole Custer is also on to pit road. He took gas only. So we definitely have a lot of strategy entering the latter part of this race as we see the 1 car of Kurt Busch. They cut all the front end sheet metal off that car. And we should also mention that on that last cycle of pit stops before this one, the reason Ross Chastain was so far in the back was because they had to repair right side damage on his stop. So he entered pit road in 6th and exited around 22nd position. So Adam Andretti entered pit road as the race leader, but will exit the pits in 32nd position. Now that might not be so bad sounding if the strategy plays out, but if they get another caution in between then and the end of the race, odds are they'll probably have to pit with the leaders, and then the strategy might not work. But the guys who are leading the race right now, like Harvick, Bowyer, and DiBenedetto, if this race continues on green, it might play out in the favor of the 44, 1, and 02 cars. And there's the green flag in the final stage. Kevin Harvick got a pretty good jump above his teammate Clint Bowyer. Alex Bowman looking on the inside of his teammate for 4th position. Looks like that move did not work out as Chase Elliott defends the spot. And Jack Hawksworth, who's had to claw his way up through the field all race long, is now about to take 5th off of Chase Elliott, but he got forced up off the bottom by the 42 of Regan Smith. Hawksworth up into 4th position in the 5 car. Chase Elliott almost ran off the track entering turn number 4. Now they're going 3 wide, up 5. Regan Smith getting ran out of race surface. And the 33 car of Jan Magnussen trying to take up 6th off Alex Bowman. Still battling side by side for the spot. And Magnussen will take the position. And guess what? The 12 car of Ryan Blaney, he is now back up into the top 10. He used the bumper in quite a few corners that last lap to try to get around Buescher into 9th, but could not budge the 17. So now Stewart-Haas Racing holds the first 2 positions. Kevin Harvick, not very well known for road course skills, but is patrolling the field above Clint Bowyer, DiBenedetto, and Hawksworth. Ryan Blaney and Chris Buescher run side by side for 9th spot. Blaney putting his left sides into the dirt, but will hold 9th position now off the 17. The 00 car of Daniel Suarez has started to finally make some gains late in the going. He's up to 11th position. Just 10 laps to go here at Mid-Ohio. The separation between 1st and 2nd is around 7/10 last time by at the start-finish line. The top 4 cars still run single file. I should point out that he's not made very much noise in today's race, but Regan Smith getting a very consistent run out of the 42 car, currently runs in 8th position. The separation between the 4 and 14 last time by at the start-finish line was over 1 second. So right now, Clint Bowyer not able to make any gains on his teammate Harvick. Well, the 47 car of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. just got turned around by Adam Andretti. So in the race, back to the caution flag, Kevin Harvick is your leader above Clint Bowyer, Matt DiBenedetto, Jack Hawksworth, and Chase Elliott. Coming off turn 2, Adam Andretti just turns the 47 car around. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, really. Just dumped the 47 coming off turn 2, which was what led to the caution. And there's the green flag with just 6 laps to go here at Mid-Ohio. Harvick did not get nearly as good of a restart that time on his teammate Clint Bowyer. Almost right on the back bumper as we exit turn number 1. Chase Elliott looking on the inside of Jack Hawksworth. This is the battle for 4th as Elliott files back in line. Jan Magnussen looking on the inside of Chase Elliott right now. Magnussen will easily take 5th spot, but runs it off course. Entered the corner so hard that he enters the sand and slides the car dead sideways, losing 2 positions in the process. Man, that was a gutsy move by Magnussen. Hawksworth trying to put the bumper to the 21 as Harvick heads down pit road. Now we're starting to see the strategy as Clint Bowyer decides to stay out. DiBenedetto in 2nd, and Jack Hawksworth still remain in 3rd position. So Kevin Harvick and Joey Logano are the only 2 cars on pit road during this lap. Jack Hawksworth on the inside of the 21 as we enter turn 4. Hawksworth dives it into the corner, but the 21 and him still remain side by side. The 5 car cuts him up in front of the 21 to take 2nd position. The 33 car of Magnussen just got back in front of the 88. Oh, and Kurt Busch got turned around by Martin Truex Jr. in turn 12. Although we do not have a caution, still so far the last car to hit pit road was Harvick and Logano. Nobody has hit pit road since. 88 and 33 cars still battle side by side for 5th. And Jan Magnussen will finally clear the 88 for 5th position. Your reigning champion Clint Bowyer and the rest of the leaders are still on the racetrack. So I definitely wonder how this is going to play into Kevin Harvick's strategy as we now have just 3 laps to go at Mid-Ohio. Stage 2 winner Adam Andretti currently runs in 17th position in the 44 car, trying to take 16th off the 34 of Michael McDowell. Now we saw Kevin Harvick hit pit road a couple laps ago, but that makes me think that these guys are trying to stretch their fuel and hoping that they can make it to the finish, as we just now took 2 laps to go and no one's hitting pit road, and who in their right mind would pit on the last lap? The separation between Hawksworth and Clint Bowyer is only 1 second. The 55 car of Ross Chastain is back on pit road. I don't think he could make it to the finish on fuel, so they had to bring him in for just a fuel stop. And look at how much Hawksworth has cut the separation between himself and leader Clint Bowyer. It's now much less than half a second. And at the start-finish line, Clint Bowyer will take the white flag. Hawksworth only about 4/10 behind the 14. Got a really good passing zone entering turn 2 coming up. Although I don't think the 5 car is close enough to take advantage of it. The 5 car of Hawksworth is right on the back bumper of the reigning champion of Clint Bowyer. We should mention that last lap, the only car to hit pit road was Jan Magnussen. Hawksworth putting the bumper to the 14, but Clint Bowyer did not budge, exiting turn number 4. Bowyer putting a pretty good separation between himself and second off that corner. And right here up into turn 12, this is Hawksworth's last shot. Can't quite get to the back bumper of the 14, and Clint Bowyer, the reigning champion from last season, will win the inaugural B&L Transport 350. We do have one car that ran out of fuel on the last lap, that being the 88 car of Alex Bowman. And since Kevin Harvick's strategy did not work out, he ended up finishing 24th. I wonder if Chase Briscoe will lead this race as still the point leader, as he ended up only in 20th, but still better than Harvick. And after Magnussen's strategy did not work out of pitting on the last lap, he ends up in 27th position. And here are your official results after today's race. Clint Bowyer, the winner, above Jack Hawksworth with a close second. Matt DiBenedetto in third. Regan Smith getting a very respectable debut. Well, not debut, second start in the 42. Remember, the STP 500 2015. Smith finishes in fourth. Chase Elliott finishes fifth. Ryan Blaney in sixth. Chris Buescher in seventh. Daniel Suarez in eighth. Eric Jones in ninth. And Ryan Newman rounds out the top 10. Well, after the strategy did not play out in Kevin Harvick's favor, the point gap between him and the point leader, Chase Briscoe, has been extended out to only 18 points. Now, that's only a 4-point gain, but at the very least, it is still a gain above the hardest guy to beat over the last 2 seasons. Daniel Suarez, Briscoe's teammate, moves up to third in points. Ryan Blaney up to fourth. Logano down to fifth. Denny Hamlin to sixth. Clint Bowyer up to seventh. Chris Buescher stays in eighth. Ross Chastain down to ninth. And Matt DiBenedetto up into 10th. And in the playoff standings, after 11 races, so far, we have 11 drivers guaranteed a spot in the playoffs. Now granted, 2 of those positions might not be permanent, as Chase Briscoe has not yet won a race this year, but he is the regular season point leader, so he is guaranteed a spot in the playoffs. And Jan Magnussen is barely holding on to his playoff berth by only 5 points above 30th in points. Now let's look at the cutoff line. Ryan Newman, only 15 points above. Alex Bowman is only 8 points above, and then you look at his teammate, Jimmy Johnson, the 7-time champion, is only 8 points below the cutoff line. Kurt Busch is 9 points below. Ty Dillon is 13 points below, and odds are Kyle Larson won't be able to get any better than 22 points below. The next race is the race to make the All-Star field, the All-Star Open from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Catch it right here on the Speed Station.